The courtroom falls silent. All eyes turn toward Kody Robyn as the judge bangs down a file marked DABSARK evidence. A murmur ripples through the room. Standing behind him is Robyn's serene facade concealing a secret that will ruin the Brown family forever. Christine and Janelle share a glance. Something they never saw coming is about to be shown. Millions are at risk, trust is broken, and tonight, nothing will ever be the same. Will Kody and Robyn get away with it? Or has the truth finally caught up with them? Stay with me. By the end of this story, you'll see secrets unravel that even the cameras never caught. The morning light streams through the tall windows of the courthouse, casting a harsh glow on polished wood and cold marble. The air smells faintly of disinfectant, mixed with the subtle, nervous scent of tension. Kody Robyn sits rigid at the defense table, his fingers drumming an erratic rhythm against the leather surface. Beside him, Robyn's eyes are sharp, almost calculating, yet there's a flicker of worry she can't hide. Across the room, Christine and Janelle sit together, papers clutched tightly in their hands. Their lips press into thin lines, holding back a storm of emotion. The judge enters, robes flowing silently, and the hush falls. He scans the room like a hawk, then motions for silence. We are here to consider the charges of the so-called DABSARK conspiracy, he declares. Each syllable falls like a blow of the gavel. The courtroom tension stretches tight like a drawn string. Kody swallows hard, his voice strained, defensive, when he finally speaks. Your Honor, this is unfounded, fraudulent evidence intended to besmirch our family name. Robyn leans forward a little, her voice steady but firm. It's true we do have plans for our family's finances, she says, but to label it as a scheme, that's misrepresenting the facts. Across the room, Christine chews on her lip. Her gaze flicks toward Janelle, who gives an almost imperceptible nod. The women share a tacit understanding. They have worked toward this day, but there was no way to prepare them for the sheer magnitude of what is about to be discovered. What the Brown family isn't aware of is that one massive file stands to ruin everything, and it's about to be displayed. The first evidence is produced, a fat file marked confidential. The court clerk puts it on the judge's table, and he unfastens it with slow deliberation. A collective silence falls over the room as the initial pages are exposed. Bank statements, emails, and encrypted financial plans initialed by Kody and Robyn. The case appears watertight, a carefully drawn blueprint for siphoning millions of dollars from Christine and Janelle's trust funds. Kody's face goes white, his jaw clenches, but he says nothing. Robyn shifts her weight, trying to keep up the calm front, but her hand shakes a little, small, almost insignificant, but significant enough to suggest that she is nervous. Christine stands forward, her voice shaking but firm as she speaks to the court. Your Honor, this isn't numbers on an invoice. This is a breach of trust with our family. They've been playing us for years. The judge nods, scanning through additional pages. This DABSARK scheme seems complex and purposeful, he remarks, his voice even but heavy. Mr. Brown, Miss Robyn, do you grasp the seriousness of these charges? Kody swallows once more, his lips pursed into a line. Yes, Your Honor, he responds at last, but his tone is unconvincing. And then, the unexpected occurs. A witness from the shadows of the courthouse steps forth. A person who possesses data capable of destroying or building the case. It's Meri Brown. She enters the room slowly, each step careful, her gaze locked on Kody. The room gasps. She has been quiet for weeks, her complaints largely unvoiced. But today, she holds a folder of her own, one that holds text messages and emails that vindicate suspicions even Janelle and Christine had not dared to entertain. The tension surges, the air thickens. Meri walks towards the witness stand. The judge motions, and she's free to talk. I didn't want to do this, she starts quietly, but I couldn't just sit back and let this go on. There's a pattern here. A secret plan that Kody and Robyn have been keeping one from the other, and from all of us. Her voice becomes stronger with each sentence, and the courtroom coalesces enthralled. Kody looks at Robyn, shock written across his face. Meri, this is not true, he whispers. Robyn's mouth sets hard. She knows that for the first time ever, the proof is irrefutable. The courtroom waits with bated breath, because what comes next may alter the Brown family forever. Meri opens her folder. Emails reveal coded transactions, tagged to DABSARK, mentions of transferring money into offshore accounts, and messages which indicate a desire to cut Christine and Janelle out altogether. The women look at one another, horror and outrage melting into one cutting emotion. The air is charged, all eyes on the judge, all ears attuned to what is to be said next. Kody rises, trying to interject, but the judge silences him with a raised hand. "Continue, Miss Brown," he commands. The courtroom is silent except for Meri's voice. "Steady now," she reads aloud from an email chain. "Discussions about funneling money, manipulating trust, and controlling the financial future of the family." The mood in the room changes. Whispers spread through onlookers, and even the lawyers appear uncomfortable. Robyn remains still for a moment, then leans forward, speaking softly to Kody, attempting to save the story. But the testimony is unwavering. Suddenly, the courtroom doors burst open and a figure enters, a bank whistleblower, one of the individuals who processed the DABSARK transactions, and is willing to lie under oath. Heads turn, hearts beat fast. Is this it? Is this the end of the Brown family's worst-kept secret? The whistleblower comes forward, documents in hand. The judge nods, indicating that proceedings may begin. "I have personally examined all transactions coded DABSARK," he says, voice firm, "and these papers detail a calculated scheme of misappropriation." The air is heavy with tension. Even the walls of the courtroom appear to close in. Christine's eyes grow wide as the whistleblower verifies the manipulations, assigning each action to Kody and Robyn. Janelle clutches the lip of the bench, her hand pale with a white-knuckled grip, as a creeping sense of sinking horror encases her. Years of trust, years of believing in loyalty within the family. It all appears to disintegrate in this instant. Kody fidgets in his seat, finally breaking the silence. We didn't mean for it to be interpreted that way," he grumbles. Robyn shakes her head, knowing that any explanation is going to sound meaningless under the burden of the evidence. The judge rocks back in his chair, fingers steepled. "The court will adjourn briefly before continuing with witness testimony," he states. Spectators murmur. Whispers ring out. Outside, journalists are already speculating about the bombshell revelations within. Secrets from the Brown family are tumbling out, each lie uncovered, each betrayal exposed, and the repercussions have just started. As the courtroom clears for recess, Christine and Janelle share a glance that says it all. They know this isn't finished. They know what happens next will be even more passionate, more emotional, and more telling than anything the cameras have seen up to this point. Kody and Robyn sit in silence, each with thoughts only they can fully comprehend, wondering if they will make it through the storm they've conjured. The first episode concludes with a lingering close-up of the DABSARK files on the judge's desk, a quiet assurance that what follows may change the Brown family's lives forever. The courtroom is charged, almost unendurably so. Each heartbeat rings out louder than the last, as the doors creak open once again. The whistleblower advances, eyes flitting nervously but voice firm. "What I'm about to reveal will shock you," they announce, and the room collectively leans in. Kody shifts in his chair, pale beads of sweat forming on his forehead. Robyn bites her lip, maintaining a calm facade, but there's a tremor in her hand that betrays her fear. Christine and Janelle exchange a look. This is the moment the DABSARK plan could either implode or survive. And everybody knows, one word from this witness would turn everything around. The whistleblower clears her throat, looking over at the judge for a moment before starting. "I was responsible for running the DABSARK transfers through," she says, opening a folder of documents. The courtroom closes in on them. Even the viewing area of observers is quiet, the air charged with tension. These weren't normal transfers. Each account, each wire, was channeled with the purpose of siphoning millions unbeknownst to Christine and Janelle. Kody shifts restlessly, his normally assertive stance cracking. He prepares to speak, but Robyn puts a light hand on his arm. Her bright, hard eyes flash. "Keep quiet, we can spin it later." Christine stands up, her voice shaking but resolute. "Your Honor, I need this witness to explain in detail how these transactions were labeled and routed. The coded messages, they're not numbers, they're evidence of manipulation and betrayal." And just as the first layer of the DABSARK scheme is peeled, the true shock remains concealed, something even Kody could not foresee. The whistleblower continues to detail. Every transaction is darker than the last, veiled by a series of coded language. Some were being called family growth, others DABSARK reserve, they describe. But in actuality, these funds were being transferred into accounts with only Kody and Robyn having control. The camera or in our story, the mind of the audience zooms in on Kody's face. His eyes dart wildly, attempting to cover up panic with strained calm. Robyn's jaw hardens as she sees the careful planning they believed was confidential now laid bare. Christine's fists are clenched, her nails digging into her palms. Janelle's lips are quivering with rage. The family is breaking apart in front of their very eyes, and the courtroom is the focal point of the Abruptly, the whistleblower stops, speaking over the stooping body. There's one transaction, one that neither Kody nor Robyn anticipated me to catch, they say. Gasp sweeps through the room. The judge leans forward, interested. Christine and Janelle's eyes pop with understanding, feeling that this might be the final evidence of betrayal. The transaction at issue is one of a transfer so brazen that it amazes even the most experienced attorneys. Millions were supposedly transferred from the trust accounts of Christine and Janelle into a secret offshore account. The date, the precise amount, the coded notations, all carefully recorded. The courtroom is electrified by tension. The seriousness of the DABSARK scheme is no longer to be doubted. Kody breaks his silence, his voice trembling. I didn't think that anyone would understand the context. It's complicated, he stammers. Robyn leans in close, saying something inaudible, her voice urgent but under control. She knows that one misstep now could ruin them completely. The DABSARK scheme is not just about finances. It's about power, control, and ultimate betrayals within the Brown family. And things are going to worsen. Christine stands up, her tone crisp and authoritative. Your Honor, I ask the court to accept the complete transaction records as evidence. That proves willful deception. The judge inclines his head, indicating the court clerk to produce more documents. The evidence puts pressure on Kody and Robyn. Their carefully constructed secret is disintegrating in the light of exposure. As the papers are exposed, the doors of the courtroom creak open once more. Another face enters, a one-time friend of Robyn, a person who testified to having seen clandestine meetings where DABSARK was discussed. The murmurs spread in the room. Might this be the witness who finally reveals the reason behind the betrayal? The ex-confidant also takes the witness stand, hands trembling slightly as they clutch a stack of documents. I was repeatedly told of schemes to divert family money, they confess. I never thought it would come to this. They thought Christine and Janelle would not ask questions, that they could control the family without repercussion. Kody shifts restlessly, aware that the cocoon of lies is disintegrating quicker than he can adapt. Robyn's normal cool composure starts to crack, tiny telltale signs of annoyance flashing across her face. Christine and Janelle's feelings are raw: anger, hurt, disbelief, but also a burning determination to have justice served. The witness continues, recounting meetings, clandestine communications, and manipulations that tie each component of the DABSARK plan to Kody and Robyn. Each new disclosure hampers the tension like a tightening vice. The courtroom is charged, and the viewers feel the tension crackling in the air. Each word uttered, each document unveiled, brings them closer to revealing the extent of the DABSARK betrayal. And nothing will ever be the same again. Christine leans into the courtroom, speaking directly to the court. It's not about money, she says, her voice firm yet impassioned. It's about trust, integrity, and the deceit that's been concealed for all these years. We must know the extent of what Kody and Robyn planned. The judge nods somberly, thumbing through the documents recently submitted. The court will consider these new testimonies and exhibits with care, he says. But the gravity of these charges is apparent. Kody and Robyn share a glance, a combination of panic and forced calm. They know that no amount of trying to explain will erase the evidence mounting against them. The tension is almost palpable as the session finally comes to a close. The gallery tiptoes, lawyers whisper, and the Brown family waits with bated breath. Janelle and Christine share a look. Everyone knows next time around will bring the final truth about DABSARK, and maybe the extent of all the betrayal that has tormented the family for so long. The courtroom stands for recess, with Kody and Robyn left alone at the defense table. The tension between them is thick, electrified with unspoken fear. Outside, Fans and reporters anxiously wait, knowing that the repercussions of today's testimony will make headlines for weeks to come. The whistleblower's testimony has rocked the Brown family to its core, but the most explosive revelations are yet to come, and they might change everything. The session concludes with the camera symbolically holding on the DABSARK files, the emails and the secret meetings that have been revealed. There is a feeling of suspense in the air, a guarantee that the next installment of the courtroom saga will be even more thrilling, emotional and horrific. The courtroom doors open wide, and the suspense is almost intolerable. Every eye is fixed on Kody and Robyn as they rise, facing a sea of disbelieving faces. The whistleblower's revelations have already sent shockwaves through the room, but what's coming now will strike even deeper. Christine's voice trembles with barely contained rage. Janelle's hands shake as she grips her folder, and Meri's eyes flash with a mixture of hurt and vindication. One question hangs over the room: can the Brown family ever recover from this betrayal? Or is this the moment everything falls apart forever? The judge clears his throat, indicating the second round of testimony. Kody returns to the stand, pale face, tight jaw, a hint of fear in his eyes. Robyn leans forward, attempting composure, but her fingers drum against the table in agitation. Across the courtroom, Christine and Janelle sit together, their strength fierce and unrelenting. The tension is palpable. One tiny movement seems exaggerated. A new witness is brought forward, a retired accountant who had worked directly with Kody and Robyn. The courtroom silence descends as they step onto the stand. I saw discrepancies in a number of accounts listed under DABSARK. They start, voice firm but tinged with emotion. When I questioned, I was instructed to stay out of it. The transfers were intentional, and the recipients, Christine and Janelle, never were supposed to find out. Kody shifts awkwardly. His efforts at aplomb start to show through as he looks at Robyn. Her mouth tightens, the serene mask starting to break. Christine's face opens wide in shock and fury. She's witnessing evidence of manipulation that far surpasses what the DABSARK files hinted at earlier. Janelle's face reddens, her hands curling around the papers in her fists. The courtroom hums with tension. Each discovery made in this courtroom is a dagger to the heart of the Brown family. Trust is lost, and nobody is immune to the blow. The witness goes on, recounting meetings, clandestine emails, and budgetary plans intended to reallocate millions. Every sentence falls like a sledgehammer blow. Kody's voice is strained as he speaks softly to Robyn. We can fix this. But Robyn shakes her head a little, aware that the damage could be done, and may already be irreversible. Christine stands, her voice slicing through the quiet. Your Honor, this is not merely financial manipulation. This is betrayal. Years of deceptions, skillfully concealed, now exposed. We want answers, and we want accountability. Abruptly, the room falls silent as a recording is played. A private discussion between Kody and Robyn about DABSARK in detail. The recording is crisp, with thoughts and plans they never anticipated coming to light. The room appears to hold its collective breath. The tape rolls, and Kody's tightly managed composure breaks. Robyn's eyes flash momentarily wider, but she hastily averts her gaze, attempting to restore control. Christine and Janelle move forward, their faces set in a mixture of outrage and vindication. The murmurs in the gallery intensify. The crowd senses the gravity of each word. The judge interrupts the playback, so that the tension has a chance to settle in. This court is serious about these tapes, he says sternly. We will investigate each aspect of this purported conspiracy. The gavel raps delicately, underscoring the seriousness of the situation. Kody swallows hard, because he realizes the tapes prove what the papers hinted at, and there is no possible defense anymore. The walls are closing in. The DABSARK scheme isn't merely revealed, it's now undeniable, and the Brown family is staring into a reckoning that has the potential to transform everything. Robyn leans over to whisper to Kody, trying to strategize, but even she knows that the tide has turned. Christine's voice cuts sharply through the courtroom. We've lived with the consequences of your deception for too long, she says, her tone unwavering. It's time for the truth to be fully revealed. Then out of nowhere a figure appears, one of Kody and Robyn's own old friends, someone who had been quiet for a long time. They stand holding a fat folder full of incriminating documents and are willing to testify under oath. The room gasps in unison, realizing that this testimony will be the clincher. The former advisor steps into the stand, quivering hands slightly. I sat in on meetings where Kody and Robyn schemed the DABSARK strategy, she starts. I witnessed emails written to manipulate inheritance and shift millions. I didn't do anything back then, but I can't stay quiet now. The look shared between Robyn and Kody is one of shock and alarm. Christine and Janelle sit more upright, taking it all in, feeling validated and anger building at the same time. The courtroom contracts around the Brown family as the deceit remains constantly stripped away. The testimony goes on, details provided that perfectly corroborate the previous testimony and files. They expose tactics Kody and Robyn used to conceal information from Christine and Janelle, from cryptic messages and emails to strategic manipulation of family gatherings. Each expose draws the suspense tighter, the audience spellbound as the drama unfolds. Every new witness is another nail in the coffin of Kody and Robyn's secrets. The courtroom is an emotional pressure cooker, and the Brown family is on the verge of collapse. Christine gets up once more, her tone resolute, speaking to the judge with a determination that cannot be overlooked. These are not errors or miscommunications, she contends. They're premeditated acts of betrayal. Each manipulation, each hidden transfer, each falsehood, it all leads to one thing. Kody and Robyn meant to shape our family's destiny without our consent or acknowledgement. Janelle's voice breaks as she continued. We trusted them. We were family, and they intended to take what belongs to us. The emotional heft in the courtroom is thick. Kody's normally steady hands are shaking, and Robyn's tightly held reserve starts to erode under questioning. The judge reclines in his seat, scanning the room with a stern face. The court will hear every piece of evidence, but the seriousness of these accusations is dire. The testimonies elicited today indicate an extent of willful deception that cannot be dismissed. The gavel strikes once more, its rhythmic beat a constant reminder of what is at stake. The session nears its conclusion, but the emotional repercussions are only just beginning. Christine and Janelle share a look, knowing that the next session will reveal even more secrets, even more conflict, and maybe even the ultimate revelation of the DABSARK conspiracy. Kody and Robyn sit in stony silence, knowing that every fib they ever uttered has been exposed, and that no words they utter now can make up for it. The Brown family is broken, secrets are revealed, and the courtroom is now the battleground for truth, betrayal, and the pursuit of justice. What unfolds might break everything they believed they knew about one another. As the courtroom clears for recess, the DABSARK files are still open on the judge's desk, a testament to the unfolding deceit. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, the crowd on the edge of their seats, and the promise of the next session hangs like a shadow. More secrets, more devastation, and the possibility that the Brown family may come face to face with its darkest secrets yet. The courtroom is stifling. Each set of eyes is on Kody and Robyn as they stand, white-faced, hands shaking ever so slightly. The DABSARK documents are spread out on the judge's bench, proof glaring. Christine's eyes blaze, Janelle's jaw clenched with barely suppressed fury. Meri sits in silence, observing the mayhem. Murmurs echo through the courtroom. Nobody anticipated the betrayal going this deep. Tonight, long-standing secrets are finally revealed, and the Brown family might never be the same. Will Kody and Robyn ride out this tempest, or is their kingdom of deceit coming apart for good? The judge brings the courtroom to order. We will proceed with witness testimony about the DABSARK scheme, he declares, his tone authoritative. The air is charged, almost palpable, as though the room itself is baited. Kody sits tense, eyes fixed on the table, while Robyn's poker face starts to slip as she messes with a pen, turning it around anxiously. A key witness is called, a former financial advisor, who handled several of the DABSARK transactions. I've never seen a plan this meticulously orchestrated, they begin, voice steady but heavy with disbelief. Every transfer, every coded communication, was designed to benefit Kody and Robyn exclusively. Christine and Janelle were deliberately kept in the dark. Kody's face sets, his lips drawn into a thin line. Robyn angles forward, attempting to look confident, but the shake in her fingers gives away her poise. Christine and Janelle share a glance, shock, rage, and vindication all mucked together. The audience senses the tension rise, as if the air itself has thickened. Each discovery cuts deeper. The Brown family's secrets are no longer secret, and the backlash could dismantle years of trust in one afternoon. The witness goes on to explain meetings, clandestine emails, and coded messages that bring out the entire extent of Kody and Robyn's scheme. Every sentence hits like a sledgehammer. Every piece of information another block in the crumbling wall of their fraud. Kody's voice breaks the silence at last. This isn't how it looks, he whispers. But Robyn, nodding just once, she knows that it is too late for explanations. Christine stands up, her voice shaking with restrained anger. Your Honor, we are not discussing money here, she states, burning with tears of anger in her eyes. This is about betrayal, manipulation, and the tearing apart of a family by lies. We are demanding complete transparency and accountability. Just when the intensity is most acute, the courtroom doors swing open. A longtime family insider, one who has stayed in the background for years, appears. Clutched over in his arms is a fat file. Gasps spread throughout the room. Is this witness armed with the smoking gun that finally reveals Kody and Robyn beyond a shadow of doubt? The ex-confidant stands, shaking hands but resolute. I heard Kody and Robyn plotting the DABSARK plan in clandestine meetings. They talked about transferring millions into secret accounts and emotionally and financially manipulating the rest of the family. I never complained before, but I cannot keep quiet now. Kody shifts uncomfortably, jaw clenched, as Robyn looks anxiously at the floor. Christine and Janelle sit up straight, eyes open wide, drinking in every word. The courtroom is charged, so thick with tension that the smallest movement seems magnified. The witness goes on, bringing forth the discussions, emails and clandestine activities that explicitly implicate Robyn and Kody. Each bit of information reinforces the calculated extent of the DABSARK scheme. Kody's confident demeanor has vanished, replaced by evident panic. Robyn's serene pretense cracks, tiny hints of tension darting across her face. Christine and Janelle's faces are a combination of outrage and vindication, tension nearly unsustainable. The DABSARK conspiracy isn't merely revealed, it's being picked apart, broken down, and verified out in the open. The Brown family's foundation is crumbling, and there is no turning back. The judge leans forward, his eyes piercing. These testimonies indicate deception and premeditation, he says. We will carefully analyze each piece of evidence. The gravity of these accusations cannot be exaggerated. Kody shifts back, his eyes moving in all directions, realizing that walls are being closed in on him. Robyn breathes slowly, attempting to keep her cool, but the tension in her shoulder gives away the magnitude of the situation. Suddenly the mood in the courtroom changes as a secret recording is played, a dialogue between Kody and Robyn, recorded on a device that nobody anticipated. The recording discloses their plan to manipulate, mislead, and secretly divert family finances. Every set of ears in the room listens intently to the revealing words. The tape rolls and the courtroom becomes charged with tension. Kody pales, Robyn's mouth compresses, and even the judge leans forward, listening intently. Christine and Janelle's eyes go wide in shock. They've been hearing snippets of this tale for months, but the complete tape leaves no doubt. Whispers spread through the gallery, witnesses unable to conceal their shock. The judge stops the tape. The court will consider this recording very seriously, he states, voice firm. It seems to support previous evidence and testimony of deliberate dishonesty. Kody swallows, trying to explain now unnecessary in the face of the evidence. Robyn doesn't utter a word, her composure lost to the fact of their betrayal. All the secrets Kody and Robyn believed were secure are now revealed, and the Brown family is under their most intense scrutiny ever. The storm has only just started. Christine stands once more, her voice slicing through the courtroom. This is not a betrayal of finances. It's personal, it's emotional, and it's intentional. We trusted them and they schemed to steal not only our inheritance, but our family. Janelle chimes in, her voice trembling with emotion. We were caught off guard. Every meeting, every chat. They were scheming in secret. Kody looks at Robyn, panic and desperation in his eyes. Robyn's hand is shaking just a little as she holds onto a folder of her own, knowing that all attempts to spin the tale now will be for nothing. The courtroom is electric with anticipation. Observers lean forward in expectation of the next explosive revelation. As the session comes to a close, the tension in the room is nearly palpable. The DABSARK documents are open before them, recordings have been listened to, and witnesses have rendered incriminating descriptions of clandestine meetings and machinations. Christine and Janelle share a look, tacitly understanding that the next session will see the ultimate showdown, where truth, deception, and emotional blowback meet. The courtroom clears for recess, but the tension remains. Kody and Robyn slump over at the defense table, shoulders hunched with the knowledge that each deception has been exposed. Christine and Janelle stand watchful, their concentration unbreakable, prepared to face the truth directly. The Brown family's secrets have burst into the open. The courtroom is a war zone of truth, betrayal, and vengeance, and the next hearing could demolish everything Kody and Robyn have fought to defend. The courtroom is as if holding its breath. All eyes are on Kody and Robyn, who are seated stiffly at the defense table. The DABSARK files are open in front of them, their conversations and recordings having uncovered all their secrets, all their plans, all their lies. Christine and Janelle sit resolutely, and Meri sits quietly, the burden of years of deception upon her eyes. The judge pushes his glasses back onto the bridge of his nose, and clears his throat. All of it will come out tonight. Every secret motive, every lie, every deceit. And the Brown family will never be the same again. Who will survive the blast, and who will remain in shambles? The hearing starts with the judge scanning the accumulated evidence. We have now heard all testimony, recordings, and financial reports on the DABSARK scheme, he declares. The court holds its breath, the air heavy enough to suffocate on. Kody squirms in his chair, his forehead glistening with sweat. Robyn bites down hard on her lip, trying to seem calm, but her hands shake ever so slightly. The first witness to be called is a forensic accountant, willing to dissect the complex strings of Kody and Robyn's supposed financial scheming. All transactions in the DABSARK plan were intentional. The witness starts. Accounts were transferred, money was rechanneled, and messages were coded in order to keep intentions secret from Christine and Janelle. The courtroom huddles closer. Each word is a blow to Kody and Robyn's carefully constructed pretense. Christine stands, her voice firm but quivering with emotion. Your Honor, this is not about numbers and accounts. This is about betrayal of family trust and loyalty, she insists. Each point the court reviews proves Kody and Robyn have deliberately schemed to deceive us for their own benefit. Janelle's voice shakes as she continues. We trusted them. We thought they were being truthful. And they schemed behind our backs, treating us like hurdles instead of family. Every revelation, every testimony, tightens the noose around Kody and Robyn. The Brown family's secrets are fully exposed, and the emotional fallout is about to peak. The courtroom doors swing open, and a final witness enters, a former family assistant, who had managed communications for Kody and Robyn. I have emails, meeting notes, and recordings, they say, voice unwavering. I witnessed their strategy firsthand, the planning of the DABSARK scheme, and their discussions about hiding it from Christine and Janelle. Kody looks over at Robyn, a panic flashing across his face. Robyn's placid facade cracks open a little, as she knows there isn't a defense left now. Christine and Janelle share a look of vindication. Finally, evidence that confirms what they've suspected for years is completely unmistakable. Out of nowhere, the assistant makes a bombshell. A secret audio recording, in which Kody clearly lays out schemes to steal millions from Christine and Janelle's trust funds. The courtroom gasps. Even the judge leans forward in shock. Is this the smoking gun that convicts Kody and Robyn? The tape plays. Kody's voice is recognizable, icy and calculating. Robyn sounds matter-of-fact, nearly evil, as she talks about how to hide the transfers. Christine's eyes go wide with shock. Janelle clutches the railing on the bench, and Meri lets out a harsh breath, the tension nearly palpable. Witnesses whisper among themselves, and can't help but show their shock. The judge stops the tape, giving the room time to feel the force of it. This tape will be presented as evidence, he says sternly. Its contents corroborate willful and calculated acts intended to mislead and manipulate family members. Kody rolls back in his chair, a half-sigh forced from his lungs, realizing that their destiny now rests in great part in this irrefutable evidence. The walls are closing in. The DABSARK scheme has been exposed completely, the deceptions revealed, and the Brown family is going to get a reckoning, unlike any other. What next can destroy everything. The courtroom erupts again in emotion as another surprise player comes forward. A former member of the family who had been quiet for years. I have letters and documents that further verify Kody and Robyn's secret scheme, they declare. They talked about moving money, concealing transactions, and dictating the financial destiny of Christine and Janelle, without their consent. Kody looks around anxiously, and Robyn's stoic facade is now cracking visibly. Christine and Janelle sit straight, faces fierce, taking in every detail with a mixture of relief and outrage. The tension is almost excruciating. The audience can feel every heartbeat, every gasp, every hushed word. Finally, the court clerk enters a last piece of evidence, a digital bookkeeping ledger that Kody and Robyn never thought to hide. The figures spell out not only financial tampering, but the full extent of their plan to steal millions. All eyes in the courtroom gaze at the screen, tension and fear thick in the air. The judge reads over the ledger intently. This evidence, added to earlier testimony and recording, shows a clear and deliberate scheme, he announces. Kody and Robyn sit quietly, slumped shoulders, as the court digests the seriousness of it all. Christine and Janelle's eyes blaze, their stance firm, their wrath blended with the relief of having the truth finally validated. The courtroom is charged with tension, as the judge is about to speak directly to the Brown family. The court acknowledges the difficulty and emotional significance of these allegations. He starts, but there is ample evidence to support the conclusion that Kody and Robyn devised a systematic plan to embezzle money and deceive family members. Kody swallows hard, staring down at the table. Robyn claws the lip of her folder, eyes scrunched, a flash of fear crossing her normally calm face. Christine and Janelle exchange a silent nod, the unseen message certain: justice is within reach. The last pieces of the puzzle have dropped into place. All the lies, all the betrayals, all the secret schemes are now laid bare, and the courtroom waits for the final verdict. The judge goes on, cataloging the evidence: testimony, tapes, emails, accounting books, all to a picture of calculated deceit. Although the court will determine proper legal repercussions, it is apparent that the DABSARK plan is a severe breach of trust, both emotional and financial. Christine stands up once more, her voice firm, but shaking with emotion. Your Honor, this is not just about money. This is about the foundation of a family that was destroyed by deception. We request that justice be served, and that the truth be acknowledged. Janelle contributes, her voice barely above a tremble. We trusted Kody and Robyn, and they took advantage of each and every one of us. This court needs to recognize the harm that was done, and hold them responsible. Kody and Robyn don't speak, the burden of openness bearing down. Their years of secret keeping have been entirely exposed. Every move at control, every manipulation, every veiled message, exposed to the court and family, for all to witness. The court is thick with emotion. Audience members sit on the edge of their seats, awaiting the climactic end. The tension mounts to a fever pitch, the melodrama becoming almost intolerable. The Brown family has come face to face with the ultimate test: trust destroyed, secrets revealed, and the DABSARK scheme out in the open. The verdict is coming, and the Brown family will never be the same again. Each secret is unveiled, each betrayal uncovered, builds to a moment of truth that could alter everything. The judge sets himself to adjourn for consideration. This court will consider all evidence and render a decision, he declares. The gavel falls softly, and the room leans forward in expectation. Kody and Robyn sit quietly, bracing for the inevitable. Christine and Janelle share a last determined look, while Meri observes quietly, her eyes reserving the burden of truth long suppressed. As the session concludes, the audience is made to feel the enormity of what has transpired. The Brown family has been pushed to the limit. Betrayal, dishonesty, and emotional turmoil have ruled the day. The ultimate verdict will decide not only financial fates, but the very future of the family. Comment below. What would you do if you found a betrayal like this in your own family? Could trust ever be restored? Or is some damage too deep to heal? We want to hear your opinion.